Hey there, and welcome to the Flourish podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I'm so glad that you are here. We are now at the last week of July. I don't know how this keeps happening, but it is going by way too fast. I even had a friend who just started school this past week as a teacher, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is too early. We are in July. We should be in the height of summer, not be looking at that time of year. But let's face it, time zooms by and it catches us by surprise if we don't prepare for it. So I wanted to jump in. This is going to be a shorter little episode, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about what is going to happen in August. So I have been consistently doing these podcasts for over 2 years now. It's crazy. So last episode was 111. Today's 112. So I've been consistent for all those weeks. And I want to stay consistent, but I also want to understand the need for some refreshment and some rest and things like that as well. And so I'm going to have a shorter series. Rooted and Refreshed is what I'm going to call it in the month of August. And so I will still have new episodes each week. They'll be a little bit shorter, not really long. I'm going to focus on a scripture, a little bit of a devotional, and some questions, some journal questions that you can kind of take in for each day. And so I'll share the first one next week, so you'll get to know a little bit about it. But I wanted to let you know ahead of time, I'm not going anywhere, but I wanted to let you know I'm going to take that time to be able to rest and really take the month to prepare for what's ahead. And I thought, what a better time to do that in the last bit of summer as we are in August, and really it's my favorite time of year. So I want to make sure that I am being present in that time where I get to be a little bit more present in the things that are around me. It doesn't mean I'm going anywhere, and I'm definitely going to continue to do things in my business and in my life and in my Flourish group and all those things. But I just thought, let's take a little bit of a pause in what all I'm bringing in for the podcast, but still have it present. Welcome to Flourish, the podcast for faith-driven mompreneurs who are ready to release overwhelm, create sustainable, healthy habits, and build purpose-driven businesses aligned with their faith, family, and vision. I'm Stephanie Book, a transformational mindset, wellness, and business coach. I'm here to equip you with the tools, mindset shifts, and encouragement to help you flourish. If you're ready to grow a thriving life and business while staying aligned with your faith, purpose, and priorities, you're in the right place. You are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Let's dive in. So today I wanted to share a little bit about a new journey that I'm starting. I have talked a lot about planning and different things like that. And recently I was on a training and I was kind of being retaught or the importance of maybe time blocking in our business. Allison was sharing in our teaching time about how she had a specific planner that she liked using for time blocking. And I've heard a lot about time blocking. I've used it some, but this last week I've really been trying to be a little bit better at time blocking and putting in specific times to do specific things. And she told me about a planner that she started using, and now this is my first week. And so I've already seen some things that I want to change, things where I've over-planned things that I think I can do in the amount of a time, and sometimes under-planned. I've noticed where I let other things slip in that aren't as high of a priority because I am still in that rhythm of doing things kind of more of the squirrel brain where, oh goodness, I need to do this. Oh, this comes and this comes. But the whole idea of that time blocking, it's nothing new, and it's definitely things I've learned about and I've talked about on here, but I don't think I really was practicing it. I know I wasn't practicing it as well as I could. And so I've stepped in this week and been using this time blocking calendar, and I'll put the link in the show notes. It's the time block planner, and it's actually a paper planner. And what's really cool, I don't know who made it. She was telling me about it, and from Newport, that's who it's by. And what's really cool is in this book, he gives you a little idea of how to use it. An introduction, talks about what time blocking is. And if you don't know what that is, it's putting specific chunks of time, planning specific chunks of time dedicated to certain things within your day so that you can schedule the most important things, get those things in your schedule, and then have those specific times so that they don't get lost, especially when we have those things that we don't like to do, when there's things that you want to do first, because you don't like the eat the frog principle, where you do that first, do the hard things first, and then they're gone. Because we can look a layout of the week and see, oh, these are the things that I want to get done. These are the things that are most important to get done. It helps us determine what those top 3 most important things are for the day and all the different habits. But I really like this planner because he first of all tells you how to use it. And I have learned a lot about time blocking. I learned a lot of that from Kara Harvey. She's a purpose-driven mom founder, like her club and all those different things. So the 15-minute formula, she wrote that book and it's excellent. So I think I've learned about time blocking, but I think I first learned it from Kara. But then I've played with it here or there. I've played with different planners. I've been one of those planner junkies that have bought all the planners, and I've talked about those before on here, where there's all these different kinds, and there's a digital planner. So I was doing that for quite a while. And then I have my Google Calendar, and then I have a paper calendar. And I find that if I'm not writing things down, blocking certain things out, things get forgotten, not because they're not important to me, but because they're not written down, or I don't have a specific time for them. And I'm finding that that has really been an issue for me, is I have lots of things and I stay busy all day, but I might not be getting all of the important things done because I haven't made space for them. And so that's what this time blocking has been able to help me do it. So again, this is my first week really honing in on it. And believe me, I have had to scratch out and move the blocks over and change the blocks over to a different day. And I'm learning how to do that. But it's also making me aware of where my time is going, and really where maybe I'm wasting time. And also when I'm procrastinating, I'm putting things in front of what's actually on there. And then asking myself, well, what is it? Why is it that I don't want to do these specific things? What is it? Should there be a different time of day that I'm focusing on this? Is my energy level too low for that time of day? So you can start recognizing and seeing the clues of the different things that you are doing and you're not doing. And then you're able to question, what is it? Why am I not doing these specific things? Is it I'm afraid to do it? Is it it feels like busy work to me? Is it because you don't think it's a high enough priority? Is it because it takes up a lot of time and you don't you don't want to take it away from the things that you want to do? Like, I don't know. There's all different reasons. We all have reasons why we do things and we don't do things. But usually there's something in there. There's a reason why we skip it. Maybe, we say we want to really grow our business and we really want to step in and do the work, but then we won't take the time to do some of those business building activities that are absolutely imperative to grow your business. So instead we'll scroll, we'll spend time, we'll get stuck in the reels or on TikTok, and we'll just scroll and scroll and scroll to avoid the things that we need to do, or that we want to do in order to grow our business, because for some reason there's something that's holding us back, whether we feel uncomfortable doing it, or we like to self-sabotage ourselves. We get in our own way. And so this time blocking planner has been really cool because it's been able to help me identify some of those things that I keep putting off, and recognizing that I need to give myself some place to breathe and to rest as well, because I will go all day long and adding all the things. Oh, there's an extra space of a half hour in there. Oh, I better fill it up with something. But I'm learning that it's okay to have some of that space. And also, sometimes things take longer, or you get into a rhythm of something and it's really, really working. Just because your time block says, oh, you blocked out an hour for this specific thing, as long as it's not like a specific appointment or something, maybe you need to give that extra half hour to that, and then you move that other next block down to a different spot into the day. So you have some of that margin in there so that you can move things around a little bit. But I think it really has helped. It's been eye-opening for me to see how, one, the things that I'm putting off, and two, how scattered I can become when I start bringing in all the other things, and just not allowing for the time spent in those specific time blocks to actually do what I'm doing. Because I would find myself doing something, and then I would get sidetracked by something else, and then I would move away, and they're like, oh, no, I'm supposed to be doing this right now. And I found myself being distracted a lot, so maybe it's a point of recognizing, hey, when you're doing this activity, you are really, really susceptible to having those squirrel moments. So maybe you block out those notifications, or you pick a time where you know you're going to be focused, and that's the time of the day that you work on that specific task, so that you don't find yourself wandering, right? So if there's something you really want to do and the afternoon is not your best time of day and it's very important that you do it, I would not say schedule that in the afternoon. I would say let's schedule that in the earlier part of the day, or if you're a night person, in that evening, so you know that's the time of day that you do those things, making sure that you are taking care of yourself along the way as well, so that you're drinking your water, you're fueling your body. Maybe you need to move your body between one activity and another in your calendar, so that you have that ability, that focus that you need. When we used to do these power hours when I was kind of in 2020, it kind of started, when we were all stuck at home, and they used to do these dance breaks, and not everybody would do them. And I didn't always want to stand up because I was in the middle of something, but they would be like, all right, it's time for a dance break. And they'd put on a song for 20 seconds, and we were supposed to get up from our desks and move our bodies and move around. But that's actually good for you too, because it gives your body, you think, oh, you're not going to be focused anymore, but it actually helps you refocus. It kind of puts that energy in your blood. It gives you a little bit of that boost. And so then you're able to go back into that activity and continue on and really do your best work when you've had that little bit of disruption there for a second. So there's a difference between a planned disruption, like something like that, versus those squirrel moments that we all have. But I just wanted to encourage you, if you've not looked at time blocking before, if you've not really tried it, to really track what you're doing, to see that where there's holes maybe in the things that you say you want to do. Because believe me, with me, I have social media that I want to keep up on. I'm learning how to do Pinterest. I have a course that I'm taking in Academy where I'm learning how to be a better business person, a businesswoman, and be able to show up for the clients that I care about. I have this podcast. I do my Flourish TV. I try to write a newsletter, and I also want to make sure I'm following up with leads. And then I also have my whole life to take care of as well, right? I want to make sure that I'm spending that time with the Lord. I make sure that I have time for my working out every day, and that's important to me, making sure I'm fueling my body well, preparing the dinners and meals that I need to prepare for my household, to make sure that I keep the home clean, right? To make sure I have laundry, make sure my bed is made, right? All of those things. We do so many things. We start listing them out and we can become overwhelmed. We can feel like, oh my goodness, there's no way we're going to get it all done. And I've talked about this before. I used to write to-do lists and I would put them all down and I'd add cry in there a couple times because my brain was overloaded with all the things. But when I took the week, at the beginning of this week, and I blocked out time for each day, I was able to be like, oh, well, I can move this day and I can focus on this next day. And Thursday's meant for this, and Friday I'll do this. And it was so nice. Now, I did not get all of the things done on the time block calendar because, again, I'm learning and I'm recognizing, okay, I want to make sure I schedule these things earlier in the week so that at the end of the week, these things are not as pressure filled. And maybe the things that I enjoy doing more are the things I want to put towards the end of the week because I'm more focused in the beginning of the week. By the time it comes Friday afternoon, I might be like, okay, I'm ready to think about what's going on this evening and what we're going to do the rest of the weekend. And so it might be better for me to look at the big things, the most important things that I want to make sure I get done for the week, that they are time blocked in the beginning of the week. So again, I am brand new with this, but I wanted to share about it because it really has been very eye-opening for me as I've stepped into this week. And so I will show you really quick. If you're on the podcast, if you're watching on the YouTube, you'll be able to see. If not, you'll have to listen in or you can check the YouTube channel. So this is kind of the basic of what it looks like inside this planner. And that's like this is the training. And he'll talk about, he has like a whole different thing that explains how to use it. And he talks about, this way. Yeah. He talks about this and how you're listing the things here that you want to do, and then he'll have he will even just put, instead of writing morning task and all the things he wants to do, he'll just put like a number one, and and in the right he has, oh, I'm going to, these are the things I want to do, like maybe your power hour or something like that. So you can start writing that down. But then this is what I was talking about, how he was talking about how you can cross them out. I thought this was really a great idea. Instead of like being really hard on myself and being like, oh, I didn't get these things done, you put an X through this time block, this one here, and then be like, okay, I'm going to rewrite it here. And then you know what? This one here, I have to rewrite it a little bit more, and I'm going to move it over here. And then you know what? Some of the things you might have to move on to the next day if they didn't get done. And so it's really cool. The planner is really nice because it talks to you about what it is, and then it talks about tracking, and then it talks about a shutdown ritual, which I have not really started yet, but I think that's important too. We talk about having the time to reset our bodies for the evening to get ready for sleep in my health program. And this is like the same kind of thing, shutting down your work time and moving into your next part of the day. So as an entrepreneur, we will go all day long, right? We will do all of the things we need to do. And if you're working a full-time job beyond being at home, you will do your work at your job, and then you'll come home, you'll do your home things, and then you'll do your work things. But we still need to have a point where you do a shutdown, where you're like, okay, I need to close up business for right now, spend time with my family or my pets or whatever it is, and do your evening wind down time. And so we want to kind of shut down the day, and then we can look forward to the next day. We can move anything over that we didn't finish from the day before into the time blocks, and we might already know, hey, we need to fix this. Or maybe there's an appointment that comes up unexpectedly and you notice, oh, Tuesday is not going to look like I thought it needs to, and so you move things around. And this is not to be hard on ourselves. This is not to put ourselves down for the things we don't get done, but I think it's more freeing because you're able to see, oh, these are the things I did get done, and now I can learn from this. And then you can assess at the end of the week and think, okay, what things went well? We can celebrate those wins that are really exciting to do. We want to celebrate the things that we've been able to accomplish, that God has walked us through, the different things, maybe the fires that came in that we didn't expect, and then all the things we were able to get done. And then we can move it on to the next list. And so another thing that they have in this planner, I think I showed it to you in the very beginning, I'll just show you a random day here, is here you can write down different things. So as you're going through your day, you can actually write down some tasks or ideas that you have. Now this is, you can kind of, I started kind of with a brain dump all together of all the things that were on my brain that I wanted to do. But then this is like, as you're in the middle of your brain, of your day, as you have everything time blocked in, you can write those different things that are coming to your mind here on the other side, the left side of the planner. And you don't have to come back to it later. You just write it down. I mean, you come back to it later. You write those things down. Maybe you have an idea. Maybe you're in the middle of a podcast, or you're you're in the middle of working on some content and you think, oh, it'd be really cool if I made this. And then you can jot it down, because you're not doing that now, but you can put it in your ideas panel. And then when you review your week, you'll be like, oh, I really remember on Tuesday when I thought about that. That's a great idea. I'm going to time block that in for this next week. So again, I am brand new with using this planner, and I'm not brand new to time blocking, but I have noticed that I definitely tend to have a squirrel brain and really honestly put things ahead of other things because it's easier, or it's convenient, or it's just not as hard, or it doesn't take as much energy from me. And so I've learned a lot about who I am, how I work in just 5 days, because today's Friday and I started Monday. So I planned kind of Sunday and started through the week. So I hope this was helpful to you, a little eye-opening to you. Again, I will put the link to this time block planner. I got it on Amazon. It was a really reasonable price, and hopefully it will help you. And if this is something that you enjoy learning about, if you have tips that you want to share, put that in the comments. People love to be able to learn from one another. And if you are completely lost, you're like, what in the world are you even talking about? Reach out to, and I will help you. But I want to make sure that I'm bringing things to you that are helpful to you. So let me know. Let me know if you like time blocking, and if you do, if you have a favorite way to do it. But friends, I hope this is helpful. Again, it was just something that was on my heart. I thought I wanted to share something that I was learning this week, because that's always my hope, is that I will share something that I'm learning along the way that might help you in your business, in your faith, or your day-to-day life. Because I know that life moves so fast. As I talked about in the very beginning, how quickly summer is going. Time can go by so quickly. And if we haven't made the space for those things that are important to us to grow our businesses, or, maybe you don't have a business, but maybe you're listening to this, but you were like, I want to make sure I get these specific things done in my home or my homestead, or whatever it is that's coming your way. Maybe at work, this will be helpful to you. So you're not always feeling like you're trying to catch up to what the boss asks you to do, and you get to step in and be like, oh, I've got this figured out in my flow of my week. So I hope that's helpful. As usual, I have lots of different resources and things to help you. I have quite a few. I have the Growth Vault that I've been talking about for quite a while, the Flourish Accelerator program, if you want some help walking through the clarity and confidence to be able to know exactly who you're serving and how you want to serve them, I have that available to you, as well as many other resources, because my goal is to help you, one more step. If I can bring you one step closer to something that you want to create, then I find joy in that, because I know how much I needed the help as I started into things, and every bit of help that I received was so well received, and I'm so thankful for it. So, friends, please remember that you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Take care. Thank you for joining me on Flourish. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and equipped to take your next step with confidence. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs this encouragement. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at steph.book and join our Facebook community of faith-driven women who are ready to flourish. Make sure to check out the show notes for all the ways we can connect and continue this journey of growth together. My friends, remember, you are worthy and capable of living a full and flourishing life. Success isn't just possible, it's meant for you. Take care.